Welcome back to the Manifest and Chill podcast. I'm here with a dear friend, soul sister, and Feng Shui aficionado, expert teacher, my own personal mentor in Feng Shui. Last year, I took her 12-month of manifesting journey, and I know I didn't get the name right. Kristina will share it with you, but she has such great information, and I wanted to bring it with you because as with Manifest and Chill, we are all about manifesting the life you desire and learning to chill the fuck out in the process. So let's dive in. Kristina, thank you so much for being here today. I'm so happy to have you.
Hi, Tracy. Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
This is going to be such a great conversation. I didn't share you before. It's okay. You can get a little sweary. We are allowed to do that on this one. So my audience is very comfortable with it, especially if you want to nail a point or put 10 toes down on something. But I wanted to say thank you so much for being here. We live in Illinois, but you are somebody that I've been following for a while, and I have taken your course and actually applied it personally into my life. And when I stay steady and consistent with the and teachings that you share, I have personally seen massive transformation in my life. So thank you so much for just making an impact on my life.
Oh, that means everything to me. Thank you, Tracy. It's been an honor.
Would you please take a moment and share with my audience just a little bit about yourself, your history, how you journeyed up to the point of where you are right now with having this really beautiful, intuitive, and successful and service-driven business of yours?
Oh, thanks for saying that. Yeah, I've actually been practicing Feng Shui myself personally for over 12 years now. But my Feng Shui business, I work full time in public education, but I also have a Feng Shui business that I have grown to six figures over the past three consecutive years. And I say that in a sense of like, I am astonished by the growth and the impact that this work is making on people's lives. So when you were expressing to me how much feng shui has shifted and changed your life by taking the 12-month manifesting journey, it means so much to me because for a very long time, I was practicing feng shui and experiencing all of these miracles in my life. And I just wanted more people to have access to it. And that's essentially what drove me to become certified in feng shui. Basically, I grew up in scarcity, right? And so I didn't grow up with a lot of money. And I graduated from college, became a teacher, worked in private education. I didn't have my summers off. I worked so I could make ends meet, go out a couple nights a week and pay for groceries. And that life for me felt like a struggle. When I discovered feng shui, that's when things started to unlock for me. And this is where life and business gets really fun and interesting. So, just for your listeners, a brief overview feng shui, what really drew me in is that your home represents your life. So, there's different areas of your home that activate different areas of your life. So, once I discovered that I had not only a career area, but I had a wealth area, I was totally sold because not only did the adjustments I make in the wealth area become fruitful and actually make my life easier, and I didn't have to work summers anymore, I also noticed that other areas of my life started to unlock and feel more fulfilling. And like I said, I've been working in public education for 18 years. I am a teacher at heart, and I did not want to gatekeep this information. So I wanted to teach it to more people. And luckily, successfully, I've been able to reach hundreds of thousands of people, especially in the last 3 years. So I'm so grateful to be here to share this wisdom with more people now.
I love that. That's so beautiful. I love how it was an application in your own life that flourished into something more. Clearly, even with your traditional career path, you've always been one, you've been a learner, and two, you've been a teacher and wanting to pass it on and share. And so many people that are in the manifesting and business building and feng shui and the journey of all of that is really individuals that have a passion for I had something that helped me and now I want to share it with somebody else. As you started shifting into the world of feng shui, how did you have a teacher that you went through? From what I would imagine, and I have no base of knowledge on it, it's not like you don't just wake up one day and say, I want to do this on a Monday, and then by Saturday you've had the 48-hour online course, and there's a journey and a certification process. This is some real deal shit.
Yeah, it is real deal shit. So people know I am a red ribbon professional member of the International Feng Shui Guild. So we're a group of professionals from all over the world. And the school of feng shui that I specialize in is BTB Feng Shui, which was brought to the United States in the 1980s by Professor Lin Yun. And it doesn't use all of the compass directions, which can get very complicated. So again, BTB Feng Shui is what you're going to get from me as you listen and you apply any of these techniques. As you were asking me, like, where did you get certified? It's so amazing. You and I are both local to Chicagoland area, and I just have a very distinct memory of literally went on Google, looked up Chicago feng shui schools of Chicago. Feng Shui School of Chicago popped up. It was just one of those things. And I talked to Lori Polly, who was a direct disciple of Professor Lin Yun. He had passed when I started getting certified. So I never actually got to meet Professor, but I reference him all the time because my teacher, Lori Polly, was a direct disciple of him. And it's just one of those things that I look back on my life and I think, wow, I'm just amazed at how all of the synchronicities just fell into place. And I know that this was truly meant to be. And ultimately, manifesting with feng shui is how I became the successful entrepreneur that I am today. I literally handed my business card to Allison Victoria of HGTV Windy City Rehab because of the feng shui adjustments that I put into place, because of my passion, because of my drive. And it's just so amazing how, yes, I needed to get certified, I needed to have those credentials, but my passion to excel in this field just continued to just be supported by the universe time and time again.
Wow. What a great journey. I love that story. And I love how, so one of the things that I teach in my manifestation courses is I teach business strategy and structure in order to create an exit ready business. And there is massive similarities between the strategy and structure when I was going through your 12-month journey of manifestation and feng shui, simply because that structure of this is your home platform and these are the different areas within. Like when I was going through it at the very beginning, I was walking around saging each room, and it wasn't like a circle of the house, it was each room specifically for a reason because of the ladder that's created for that. And a very successful business that has the longevity and is able to exit and become acquired simply is based on similar structural philosophies of that. There's really a pattern. I would say success leaves clues, and there's a pattern to everything. And so you may not have, as you said, you think back to how you started, you may not have known that you were putting this ladder of structure in place other than just following the rules and the guidelines that were given to you, right? But it created an environment for luck and opportunity to rise up together, right? And that's really how I look at a lot of the teachings that you provide, and even manifestation itself. And so I'm wondering if you could share. I know you've had some really incredible transformational moments in your life, but you've also had some clients of yours that you had somebody win massive amounts of money on Wheel of Fortune and buy new cars. And could you share?
It's so much. I can just riff off a laundry list of things. It is wild. Feng Shui never ceases to amaze me. So, the Wheel of Fortune situation was I have a 3-month Quantum Leaper mastermind. It's my most intensive program. She tried out to be on Wheel of Fortune. It was her childhood dream. And she got on Wheel of Fortune. That was the first manifestation that we were excited about. And then when she flew to LA to record, She actually feng shuied her hotel room. And then she went on the program. She not only was the grand prize winner of $73,000 and a trip to Costa Rica, but she actually is local to Illinois. She works at the Pilates studio where Tracy's daughter actually works, believe it or not. And so the coolest thing was she was so proud of her career as a Pilates master instructor. And she was recognized because her and Ryan Seacrest did a 3-minute plank off. And Wheel of Fortune featured that on their social media. And then, as if it couldn't get any better, I swear, it's been about a year since her and I worked together. And she was actually in a very abusive relationship and an abusive marriage that she wasn't talking about. And she had the courage to leave that marriage. She now lives in a bigger, more beautiful home, is dating someone who is a really nice guy. Her entire life, that's the best part about feng shui. It's like money wins are so exciting and fun. And we also want to enjoy our life and feel fulfilled in all facets. Her name's Becky. She's a great example. But I also want to say, because you do have a lot of founders and business owners and things like that, I've actually helped my one on one clients. Another recent story is two female founders applied feng shui and they actually ended up getting a $600,000 business advance. Yes, I love that. And
Mhm.
this is actually pretty common. I have another client who has taken every single one of my programs and she also got a $5 million advance for her glamping business. So those are just a couple of examples. Obviously, it could go on, but I just think it's really awesome how you can shift your environment with intention, apply these ancient manifesting principles, and then what I like to say is then step back and let the universe fill in the details. It's pretty
Oh,
fun.
that's beautiful. And I love the way you frame this is that it really isn't just about the financial aspects of it. It's at the end of the day, we are born and meant to live the life of our soul's journey. And whether somebody believes this or not, I believe that our soul, before it even chooses our mother, actually knows what the entire life journey is going to be. And once we go, and so we select our mother, we select our environment to be exposed to the things that are allowing us to fulfill that soul contract. And that's when I was working with you and going through your journey with feng shui. There was little things in there that I moments and glimmers of opportunity that I may not have seen if I didn't have myself organized to be able to see those opportunities. And so what happens is it really, would you not say, it creates clarity around what you truly want in life.
Oh, absolutely. And like you literally, you can't see it. I'm like, I have tears welling up in my eyes as you say these things because I've actually gone through my own personal transformation. We all know the year of the snake was just 2025. It was a big year for so many of us. And ultimately, I had this epiphany. I focused very heavily on manifesting more money and expanding my career for many years. And I still help people do that. I have a heavy focus on manifesting money. And luckily, with feng shui, there's so many adjustments that you can do. And money is so important. And that being said, there's so many other aspects of life that make you feel fulfilled, which is living your life purpose, feeling like what you're doing is of high service. You want to have a legacy, but you also want to experience deeper connection and love and feel seen by your partner. And so, all of these pieces, just like I just had an epiphany in the past 18 months that I was just like, you know what? Feng Shui can help me with all areas of life. And so now that I've learned how to help myself navigate some maybe less, I feel like manifesting money is actually fun and easy in some ways because
Yeah.
it's money. It's money.
It's just
But
very high level.
yeah,
It's like low hanging fruit on the tree. There's just so much more in there.
exactly. And but now when women are coming to me looking to have deeper connections or even find a soulmate partner, I was like, "Oh, this is tricky, but let's dive in." And I've even had women who, again, back to that Quantum Leaper Mastermind, came in as a woman and came in as a single mother and kind of didn't have clarity in her career.
Yeah.
And now a year later, she's engaged to her soulmate and she actually ended up getting certified in Feng Shui, but she actually took a new career path making six figures. So I'm just blown away by this. So I feel like the more life experience I have, the more I lean into Feng Shui, the better I can even serve my clients. So anyway, you just kind of touched on something, the soul journey. That's what this is about. We want a life that not only looks good on the outside, but feels good on the inside, the core of it.
I love that. And oh, again, it's just why you and I are so much in alignment, beyond the fact we're Libras, but so much in alignment with everything when it comes to this. Because and even when I work with my clients, when we talk about things, it's not what are you dreaming your business is going to be like today? What are you dreaming your life is going to be like today? It's what do you want? What do you want to look back on when you reach the end of your life? What is that telling you? And what I always try to explain, even when I started doing feng shui in the house, and my husband's, what are you doing? And I'm like, just go with it. Just go with it. Don't touch that or move that around. Just go with the flow. And of course, my daughter, she's, do you want me to help you? Do you want me to say, even when it was coming to the Chinese New Year, she's, do you want me to go ahead and do anything for you to get you prepared? I took the course, but it bleeds into so many different aspects of my life, of the family. And so, even with my husband, he may not understand because that's just, he's a different brain side than I am, but he still goes with the flow of it and is like, okay, I won't touch the money plant. And I know that you're going to be moving some plants around over the next couple of weeks and stuff, and the different wealth areas of the bedroom and like all these different of the house. But what I was trying to say here is that feng shui is very much almost like following a recipe of cooking. Sometimes when you're cooking, you may not fully understand what that meal is going to look like when it's done. But if you follow all of the steps and the procedures, you will reach this really beautiful plate of food that's delicious and nourishing. And oh, I don't know if anybody's ever compared it that way to a recipe but I just feel like that's so much. Am I wrong?
No, I love it. I'm thinking of this casserole or a quiche, right? You have all this stuff and you put it in the oven and it looks all soupy, but then you take it out and you're like, oh, this is amazing. This is delicious. But you're speaking to my heart because I don't know if it's because I'm a Taurus rising or what it is, but I have this weird superpower of I can remember what I ate with anybody at any restaurant and it's a superpower. I've had it since I was
Wow.
little. That's how I remember birthday parties and everything. What was the main dish? So I love that you compared it feng shui to food, but I definitely agree. And actually, because your whole podcast is all about manifest and chill, do you talk about like when I like, I think part of the reason why I'm different from a lot of other feng shui practitioners is because I am not just about the feng shui, but I also integrate the visualization component. I call myself kind of like the Gabby Bernstein of feng shui,
I love
right? Because I include visualizations. It's a very powerful way to get your manifestations rolling at a peppier pace. But also, when you think about Gabby Bernstein talks a lot about surrender. And we talk about like when you're putting your order into the universe, you're like essentially you're taking that cake and you're putting it in the oven and you're trusting the universe is going to bake the cake on your behalf and make sure everything unfolds the way it's meant to. And a lot of my clients tend to get impatient, even though we have some overnight successes. We've all been there where we're like, okay, I did this feng shui adjustment. Now what? And the truth is, if you take the cake out too soon, it will still be soupy or the quiche. I don't know if people
right,
like
right.
that. And I don't know, your food analogy really got me thinking about like how feng shui is this manifesting practice, and we just have to trust that the universe always delivers this or something better. And as my teacher Lori Polly would always say, always in perfect timing.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
when
Oh,
things aren't happening, I try to remind myself it's still not done yet. It's just baking.
exactly. Okay, good. We're on the same path there. I'm thinking in the right direction. No, but it's with the women that I coach. And this is what I always say. I teach manifestation, I teach chill process, but deep down, like the layer is I am a business strategist, but I do it in a way that's energetically aligned to the type of business, the type of leadership position that is going to be best for your soul purpose. And it's a building things in your life that doesn't grate on the skin like sandpaper. And that's a really big way to say, like some of my women, we even talked about this in the green room, as you call it, before we got on, where I was saying my podcast episodes are short because the women I work with, they don't want to listen to my high pitched voice on 2.5. So therefore, and they have a lot of time that is so dedicated to other aspects of their life. So most people will say, oh, you need to meditate for 5 hours. That's beautiful. And I love that Joe Dispenza does that. And I'm saying it out loud. I will be attending a Joe Dispenza event at some point in time where I am sitting for 9 hours a day meditating. But how does that practically fit when your life doesn't allow that? So I have 1 or 2 minute meditations. I have those 3 or 4 minute visualization practices. Or I might encourage my clients, we're only going to do one journal prompt today. And I don't want you to go deep. I want you to stay surface level, because what I do know, and you know this because you work with high achieving women, you only have to ask one question. You only have to ask for a 1 sentence answer. Their mind is remunerating on this for days, trying to come up with the deeper answers on their own. And that's what I think is so beautiful about how you incorporate the manifestation, the visualization, and the classical ancient history of Feng Shui so that people can incorporate it into the modern day life. And you have some really incredible programs that are timelined out throughout the year, but then there's some consistent ones available too that people can pop into, or is it more of just going to your podcast and getting tips and tricks out of there?
Oh, you could scroll. Yeah, you can absolutely scroll my podcast. I have a free mini course that I like to say is exactly what I wish I had when I first discovered Feng Shui. So you can I genuinely believe that my free mini course is like, if that's the only thing you ever did with me, like you would still find success manifesting with Feng Shui because it's ultimately what I did when I first started. So
I love
10,
that.
10 out of 10 recommend that.
That'll obviously your website and the podcast, your podcast links and everything, and your Instagram will be put into the show notes. So everybody that's listening to this can scroll down. But what is there? I always like to give a takeaway. I like to give anybody that listens, like a process that they maybe could apply after they get home if they're listening to this in the car or this coming week. And what's like maybe one thing they could do that would help them get on the path of incorporating feng shui into their lives?
Oh my goodness. I feel like so many people really do want to start with bringing in money, bringing in some more clients, or even retaining clients and things like that. And my favorite thing is step one, get familiar with the Bagel map. And so the Bagel map is this 9 square grid. It looks like a tic-tac-toe,
I love
essentially. And if you have a home office, you can literally just lay it on your home office. You can even lay it on the surface of your desk. So the way that would look is like when you walk into your office, the far back left area is the wealth corner. If you're sitting at your desk, yes, if you're sitting at your desk, the top left corner is the wealth corner of your desk, right?
it.
And so the way we work with the Bagua map is the next step is to activate that space energetically with one of the 5 elements. And so when it comes to the wealth area, that space is mostly impacted and it flourishes when you activate it with the wood element. And so the wood element, it can be represented in 3 different ways. My interior designers love to know that elements can be represented by shape because shape is it's the most important way to represent it. So the wood element is represented, think of a tree trunk, a vertical rectangle. And so you can literally put a piece of artwork with a vertical rectangle. I like to put 2 or 4 pieces together for this because this area is activated by the number 4 or even numbers. Another way to represent the wood element is through color. So browns and greens, of course, green. or floral patterns. Flowers are the wood element as well. And then, of course, the actual wood element itself, like a money tree or a bonsai tree. So I would recommend activating the wood corner of your desk or the wood corner of your home office. So the back left, top left, and add some wood element because it's going to set your intention for growth in finances, luxurious abundance. And then, secondly, I would also say the water element also nourishes the space because water equals money in feng shui. And so, again, this is all in my free guide. And if you want
Yeah.
to know how to activate these spaces with color and shape, it really is a fun way to design your space and also to set your intention and watch the universe deliver literally miracles. I see it all the time with my clients. And I would, if anyone is going to try this, you better DM me on Instagram and say you heard me on Tracy's podcast because I love to hear how you learned about me. And I would love to hear what happens for you.
Oh, I love that. No, I think those are really valuable starter tips, just even to get the mindset of thinking and manifestation, visualization, feng shui, all the elements together is really about mindset and training your brain to always be looking for opportunity for, and once you start automatically seeing opportunity, then you can set the intentions of how you're going to utilize. You've already known how you're going to utilize that opportunity to move forward. So I just love that so much. Tell us, when is your next course that's like your intense course? Do you have, because this is Year of the Fire Horse. And so, and I'm not going to go too much into it, but I know that throughout the year you have different courses available. Will you be having something coming up this summer or into the fall where people can connect there?
The biggest thing would be probably I'll have to give them a wait list because my 12-month manifesting journey opens up every new year. And then the Quantum Leaper Mastermind, I'm currently taking 6 women through that program right now. It's my favorite thing to do. We just started a 3-month portal literally now. They could certainly get on the list for that. And then I also do one-on-one intensive, personalized VIP consultations, which really collapses time and we can do in 2 hours what could take months in a group program. So, yeah.
Oh, I love that. And definitely, if somebody's thinking about it, especially if you are a high achieving woman, you're a founder, a CEO, you're very busy, a one-to-one consultation with Kristina may actually be a perfect fit, depending you have space while you're waiting for that wait list opening up to get into one of the other group containers that you have available. Because that is true. This is, again, the year of the fire horse, and things are moving quickly. We are quantum leaping through. It's about showing up and staking your claim. And so I think this is a really beautiful way to make this happen.
Yeah,
I
I was
love
just,
this.
yeah, it's the year to feel the fear and do it anyway. Things are moving very quickly and we have to take the action proactively. Otherwise, we'll be forced to take action in a way that we don't necessarily want to. That's why I'm really leaning heavily on feng shui this year because it is moving so fast. And I just want to say, there's this Chinese proverb, it just comes to mind because you keep talking about opportunities and being open to them. And there's a saying that, have you ever heard this before? That good luck is being prepared when opportunity presents itself.
Yes. You
I
know who I
love
heard
that.
say that? Oprah Winfrey.
Ooh, okay. That's
And I want to
good.
say it was probably in her heyday of having the Oprah Winfrey show. So it had to have been a long time ago.
I believe this is something that professor would always say too. And I just was thinking about that because when we talk about manifestation, because the year of the horse is so fast moving, and if you're one of those people, obviously I think your listeners, they're manifesting, right? They're here for it, they're gonna try it. And one thing I just like to say to my clients, and I'll say it here to listeners, is that once you do your feng shui adjustment, I always say your job is to set your intention and do the feng shui adjustment and then allow the universe to fill in the details. But as the universe is catching up with your dreams, act as if it's already going on its way. And then when you are prepared and you are ready for that, whatever opportunities you're calling in, or even if it's a life partner, the date, the interview, whatever it is, the high level client that you're calling in, selling your business,
Yeah.
act as if it's on its way. And I think that is just a great way to to manifest and step into the portal and really align with the year of the horse.
I love that. That's so beautiful. I think that's a great place for us to kind of bring everything in. Thank you so much for being here, for sharing your time and your wisdom with the community. I really appreciate you so much, Kristina.
Thank you for having me, Tracy. I felt that. Thank you. Honored to be here.
Thank you. Of course, if anybody wants to connect with Kristina, everything will be in the show notes. You can DM her on Instagram. Definitely, if you practice any of the techniques or played around with it, like Kristina said, reach out to her, reach out to me, put together a group chat. We want to cheer you on. That's the whole thing, is expanding this community. And then obviously check her website. But thank you so much for being here. And of course, I always end all my podcasts with our one special question. And I did share it with you at the beginning, but I think that there's some things that came up also too that really helped get the answer for this if you didn't have it already. Kristina, what is one truth you wish women in leadership trusted sooner?
I don't know that this conversation, the first thing that came to mind about the truth for women in leadership was that we cannot do this alone. That was my first thing that came to mind because I think my business was the most successful once I got a business coach and I got support. I chucked the word solopreneur out the window. I was like, nope, I'm not a solopreneur. I will not identify as that any longer. And I just think I've even gone on spiritual business retreats and formed sisterhood with other spiritual entrepreneurs. And that has changed my entire life. And I would not be here without the women who I have surrounded myself with, both in business coaches and anyone else who I've hired to support me in my business. It really is, as much as I believe in, I talk about this a lot. I said, your job is to set your intention and do the feng shui adjustment and then allow the universe to catch up with your dreams. And sometimes that comes in the form of real life helpful people come into your life. And so we have to take that action of, if someone hands you a life vest and is here to support you, it's up to you to say yes and to receive that support, because we weren't actually designed to do any of this alone. So that would be the one truth.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you to all our listeners. Definitely check below. And I appreciate you being here. And we will have to maybe look at something to schedule for next year when we're moving into the next 2027 and everything that's going on. And I would love to catch you so that the listeners could enroll in your courses before they actually get filled up.
Yeah, I
But
know.
definitely, if anybody in the community is listening, please get on Kristina's wait list, because again, it's setting an intention, putting your name out there, and maybe the universe will make a space for you to slide into one of her courses in 2026. So thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate you too.